Okay, this is Bob, and I love everybody. I had the Norwegian Nightingales on with me. Uh, but this one, I just said, hey, I'm never ready to go. It's late there. But just very important. I had been reviewing His Heart's Desire corners, and with stories that show us a healed and expanded view of God, the fun God and the playful God. And some will say, I don't know if he's like that, but I would really ask you to ask him. He has a right to talk to me or you any way he wants, and he has. So, and as we get into this journey, and I just want to say we have embarked on the Yellow House journey, and we have gone through the entryway, and we're sharing rooms of encounter, their encounters. Then with golden tools, and we want to encourage you to see our new web page, see our new social media, because it's really getting there. Our communications, again, I ask for participants that you're 50 million of us are to go on this hope journey together to be hope reformers. And anybody that goes through this Yellow House will change the earth. So gather family, gather others. You know, I have talked enough in different settings that I'm not enamored by hearing me talk. But when I know it's his heart, and I know that it's unlocking something for a new era, and that this next 10 years is 10 years of original design, and it's the years of the real advancement with the kingdom. Although in the earth it looked like Leviathan hit, dark cloud hit, well, it always hits before 1 Corinthians 16:7 that there's many adversaries stand at the door, but there's a great effective door on the other end for ministry, for his heart to come forth. And sometimes our hope doesn't take us far enough, and we got to get a hold of hope unseen. It takes us through the door. Now, I have implanted in me where I've gone to a land where promises are fulfilled, and that's hope. But sometimes the childlike hope in the moment or the carefree hope in the moment I've struggled with. So I'm a hope man, but it's definitely a cultivated understanding, and it's worth dedicating ourselves to 1,000%. It's a virtue of God that's been buried for 6,000 years. Bob Jones said, go out and find the God of hope. And so you're to be advancing with these golden tools that I and others mined out for 30 years with depth on adoration prayer, on how do you hear in hope. And I've had a prophetic journey that you can look out there and see tremendous fruit, not unto me, but unto me. He wants me to be the wonderful son that hears his heart, heartily hearing his heart. And so if I don't have wisdom, all I can give you is ignorance. If I don't have freedom, all I can do is put you in a box. If I don't have his heart and hear him, all I can do is give you the words of confusion. So encourage you to hear our hope hearing. And I encourage you the next step, as I tell you, hope for your divine future, that you get off of our webpage the 300 questions. And there was a time where the Lord said, you're talking too much. Come close to listen. And then I started asking him questions. I said, you asked me doubt-filled questions. It's the wrong question at the wrong time. And he was being real kind, but that's how we'll have a conversation. I said, well, you tell me what to ask. And so he started saying, well, ask how I love this city or nation. Ask how I love this person. Ask how I value them. Ask me the unique song about them. And it goes on. And now he has given me questions about, ask me about your divine plan. He is not wanting to hide it. The windsurfers with the charismatic, and I want to be spontaneous in that. but somehow they've disqualified the reality of hope. And hope sees out a very, very long ways with clarity. And that's our lives. And so I want to show you how I entered into that corner, because it's his heart's desire for us to know and have understanding. Jesus knew, Joseph knew. I could take you through so many that they knew and got prepared. It's not more faith to just spontaneously react. It is more faith to cultivate, like Mary did, understanding the Son of God's in your womb, and give all her faculties to building that hope that would sustain her. We've thrown out what God wants to give us, a 50-year plan. He doesn't want us to be clueless. And I have so many ways, and it's his heart's desire. I just say, I'm going to tell you one, the encounter he gave me when I came into that corner. He opened up to me when I was 12 years old, and I would go into the cubby hole, and I didn't think God was near me. And so I pretended he was near me. And then I pretended to ask him questions about me, because I was struggling with my identity. My family was falling apart, and I had always been a playful boy, but now I was being an obnoxious boy. And he just lifted me up and out to a 50 million mile view. And he showed me from 12 to 18 what my journey would be like. From 18 to 30, to 30 to 50. Now, after 50, he'd show me what has really happened, which there's been challenge. And I didn't prepare myself, and I went crazy for a while. And everybody was concerned about the decisions I was making. Some of it was interpreted from afar that wasn't real, but some of it was my mind had just got cooked, and I was not making good decisions. And I've created a firestorm that was unnecessary. So here I am sharing to you that in this cubbyhole he opened up from 12 to 18. It'd be a time of development of my heart and my understanding towards him. And it was. My family went through challenge, but I had this sense that I could get deeper in love. And then I was on great wrestling teams, and they were bonding, and it was just, and I went to a church called Community One. It was all development, and they included people and had the whole city represented there. And then 18 to 30, I get saved, and I become a warrior for him in a wonderful way. I take territory. I love sharing with people. I'll just say, let me tell you a story. And I was a Pied Piper. People came in droves, and they were part of an international ministry and learned a lot. 30 to 50 was raising a family, and it was running a business. And I knew I was to meet the God of life. I knew this at 12, and the God of hope. And then 50 on were to be the days that I'm the deepest in focusing on his heart and bringing forth this Yellow House journey that's episodes. It's not just a story, it's episodes, and every episode is going to unlock more of his heart and the forgotten faces of him that will change our life. And I saw this. He showed me, like Moses had these tablets, and I was a little kid with 10 commandments on it. And he changed it right in front of my eyes. And he said, you want to have a bunch of laws, be a societal reformer? This is what you have. And the stone changed. And it was a face of God that's been forgotten, the God of all of life, and then changed to the God of diversity. And some of what's happening now, seen rightly and handled in love, could be real stepping stones for us as a human race and godly people. So I share how he gripped me, and he showed me his hope and desire for me, for my future and every day, and how much he loved the calling that he had, the journey he had, the family. He gave me hope in my family, hope in the unseen, in my work. It's everywhere where it had been predicated on hope. And then I got challenged where a 70-foot wave came. I saw this, and I was 30 feet up in hope. And I'm looking at the people on the ground thinking I'm doing pretty good, but I needed to get higher. And so I want to encourage you with this encounter that's not preaching to you, but allow him to take you through the seasons of your life and prepare your heart. He loves the destiny he gave you. And it's asking him about the future and hope and welfare in your life. It's Jeremiah who said in Jeremiah 32 and 33, 70 years from now, this city is going to be a city that looks like nothing, looks like desert. It's going to be well-watered gardens. There's going to be abundance of hope, healing, the heart of God, hearing, the harp. So I just have ones that are to hope in the future. Mike Bickle. There's a hope in the end times. And I submit that to Mike, and I saw and dreamed about David Bradshaw. And there'd be a right balance with the challenges, obviously. Lou Engle, who are good friends, but the Horton Hears a Who that we shared about a long time ago, and just how you're going to help the Who's come forth and hear him and his heart. And it's just going to get better. Andy Bird, the bird who sings the song of the worship of him, that there's no place. Andy has such a mind, but I love minds. I love creativity and genius, but there's a call to worship him in simplicity as a child. And there's such a gift to make blueprints and let's just allow the Lord to make it fun. So I love you all, and I'm going to continue to speak out people that I saw in these different corners. Please become a part. Please go on a hope journey with us. Please, I haven't asked for donations because I don't want it. It's not a donation. It's a contribution. And now I have people that, we're paying and they need to be paid. And they're really taking the content and the presentation and the substance, and it's so much rich work. And so if you can become part of our subscription, which is we're going to monthly send out the 2 tools that go with the room, and we're not going to try and I never take anything. It's just unto building our yellow houses too, our B&Bs. If you can go and visit those, you're going to see something wonderful where God's presence is, and we're developing out phase 2. We have 2 in Redding that are $1 million properties up on the cliffs. So please just participate in this journey of hope with us. Love you. Bye-bye.